Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic: what kink is actually okay to kinkshame? Surprised I've not seen bugchasers mentioned. Imagine going out of your way to catch HIV. Better than people who get off on spreading it, I guess. I thought you meant guys were jacking off running after butterflies. Wait, that's still okay, right? Public shaming. Isn't that the whole deal? They're into the shaming. It's a way out kink that most people wouldn't be comfortable, but maybe like a fantasy for some. Basically just being tied up and used by a group of people in a public setting. I've only heard of this as porn and don't know if it's a real thing, but I remember watching an Adam 22 interview where some chick said she went to some swingers club and got railed by like 30 guys that night. It's humiliation because you're just pretty much being used like a piece of meat or a sex toy. This one is not necessarily public shaming. It can be wanting to have lots of sex without having to initiate anything or do any work. Women gangbangers get a lot of respect at swingers parties. There are also a lot of exhibitionists out there. Women have told me they like being the center of attention. Source: I used to run swingers parties. People who call suicide hotlines to jerk off. I was not aware this was a thing. But I agree with you. I used to work for a credit card company and someone tried to do this. Not just suicide lines, I used to work for a national telco in ounce, we used to get them all the time. The most memorable one was a dude who called in, before I could say anything he says, and I quote verbatim here: "Kids, talk dirty to me so I can have a wank, I've just dropped my girlfriend off at the airport." Now me being me, a 6'3" bloke, my evil gene kicked in. "Hi, I'm Mary, I'm wearing stilettos and nothing else." Click and dead air almost instantly. My team lead who was listening in for QA was in stitches. Those fuckers that shit all over a public restroom every single time they come in. It's on purpose, I know it is. Do you work at Target? What is it about Target but all the poop painters flock there? I once saw the biggest turd of my life in a Target bathroom. Half of it still sticking up out of the bowl. Bigger than a baby. It haunts me. Anything that violates consent of a participating or affected party. Removed. When I was in my 2020s I found exhibitionism porn super hot. Nowadays I see it and I'm just like, why are you fingering yourself in a Walmart? Oh no, don't fucking touch the product. Jesus Christ. Look, there's a family with kids in the background. For fuck's sake. Bingo. Trust me, there are plenty of sex clubs you could go to and walk around like that and be fine while getting your thrill. Crush fetish. Basically some people get off on seeing small animals stomped to death. Okay, that's enough of this thread. Same. Good night everybody. Outside of illegal shit I'd go with bugchaser/collectors. Even if what you're doing is coswell, that's how viruses get spread and a huge portion of that community doesn't disclose/know all the bugs they have. Edit: bugchasers go after standards. As a software developer, I was so confused of this thread for a moment. Your guess was reasonable at least. I thought they were just really into entomology. No one batted an eye when the mob came for the crush fetish video some years back. So that. Fuck the crush fetish people. Kittens and bunnies never got a safe word. Wait, organized crime took down crush videos, is that what you are saying? I want to read more about that. I thought they just meant an angry mob came after the crush videos. What's crush videos? Videos of things getting crushed. Never thought there'd come a day when I think to myself, you know what? I'm on the mob side on this one. But you know what, I'm happy that I did. I vaguely remember seeing a video on Live Leak of two guys fucking up some dude who killed a puppy. Oh man, why did you guys reminded me about those crush video? I lived in Philippines and back in 2012. 2013, FBI found the guy leading one of the biggest crush and pedophile porns. It wasn't shown on the TV but I remembered they played a short clip of sound on the news. I was on the bus and I almost threw up hearing the puppy cry. I didn't eat for 2 days because I keep hearing about it. Now that you guys mentioned it, I'm losing my appetite again. That's how horrible those videos are. I love puppies. Why hurt them? It's so sad. Maps, they are pedophiles. Definitely not googling that. What does MAP stand for? Minor attracted person. Anything illegal like child porn or bestiality. That's not a kink, it's a crime. It's a kink that happens to be a crime to act upon. Crime vs not crime does not define a kink. A kink is a non-normative sexual behavior or desire but has nothing to do with morals or legality. Anything with a non-consenting partner is 100% fair. /r/OCO text. Anything that harms a person's self-esteem and mental health, physical health or can result in permanent injury or death. Or children. Then again it harms them. Or anything that involves actual living animals. People who call charity organizations to FAP. Is this really a thing? I'm a librarian. There is a guy who for maybe a decade now has been calling up to a dozen libraries a day to, if a female librarian answers the phone, ask the librarian to read him either the Bill of Rights or the Wikipedia article on a particular court decision, I forget which. He then proceeds to masturbate while the librarian reads. It's bananas to me that they've never caught the guy. He's called literally hundreds of libraries. When he's active, he seems to do it in waves. I see people on library groups post about it multiple times a day. Where did this kink even come from? At the all-girls boarding school I attended we used to get calls from guys jerking off all the time. Sick freaks. The one where men rot and chop their own cocks off at home. What the? I'm sorry, what? r/peak to me. Also r/I bleach for the poor souls who clicked that. Pedophilia and necrophilia. And bestiality. I wouldn't consider them kinks. I think a more correct term is mental illness. Or you could call them perversions. Humiliation kinks, it is the whole point of it after all. Those filthy, dirty, perverted freaks. Keep going. You silly dipshit can't come to a single comment, you just want more, you dirty, nasty, naughty, promiscuous bitch. People who like being sexually shamed, I guess. That's nasty. It's disgusting, and people who feel this way should be ashamed of themselves. Those old dudes who say they're 12 so they can justify fucking kids. That's not a kink, that's a crime. Thin line, I know. Shitty Askreddit posts. Anything that includes the unwilling. This includes the public as viewers. You have the right to your kink and I should have the right not to participate. Zoophiles. Stealing women's underwear. Eugene, what are you doing with my bloomers? I literally can't believe this was on a kid's show on Feo. So I guess you're gonna miss the panty raid. Throw away because I don't want people finding me. I'm over 600 pounds and make feeding/gaining videos. I make a living off of a fetish offers. About $3,000 a month. I'm trying to transition away from it because it went from making a quick buck and feeling somewhat attractive for once to feeling like a barnyard animal and people encouraging me to kill myself. Feeding, gaining, and stuffing is a fetish that is moderately known, but I'm under the impression few people see it as harmful. Many people in the community want you to get as heavy as possible, as quickly as possible. They want you immobile. Bedbound. I believe it's so you depend on them and they have 100% of the power. At a certain size, you cannot have sex, but they can. The goal is to essentially have a large, living, breathing fleshlight. The harder it is to move, the less clothes you can fit into, the less you feel independent is incredibly sexy to them. Sites like Fearby, Grommer, and Chaseable are hubs for these enthusiasts. Like I said, I'm over 600 pounds, but I cannot specify. Many people track and rank super chubs by their weight and age. I felt like a celebrity when I started, but now people try to find my address, use my face on various online accounts, and get angry when I don't upload videos exactly as they want. I'm going to exit the industry soon. I'd like to make some form of video showcasing personal accounts and my experiences. P.S. Fuck my 600-pound life for giving these people a platform and attention. Being this big is dangerous and unhealthy. Nobody should be told they're perfect at 500 or 600 pounds. You're encouraging self-harm if you do so. Watching that show My 600-Pound Life, I got the impression that a lot of the partners liked the idea of a dependent partner who can't cheat on them. They help overfeed to maintain that sense of power. I have a distant relative who was this way. She weighed probably 400 to 500 pounds. Had 2 kids and couldn't really keep up with them for obvious reasons. Her husband was a champ and did basically all the heavy lifting as a parent. She eventually realized she was missing out on all kinds of stuff and went hard at dieting. Lost down to under 200 pounds, and within a year he'd left her to find another woman. He just was exclusively attracted to morbidly obese women. Still in his kids' lives, but it really messed with her head because literally everyone in her life thinks she looks better now. To his credit, he was supportive, not to mention doing all the parenting work, but he just wasn't attracted to her anymore. You should write a memoir. That is unusual and interesting, and I had only a vague idea that it existed at all. That's quite an idea. I'm not sure I have the grammatical skill for that, but definitely something to consider, thank you.